What's up guys, welcome to the Moody channel. Today we're gonna go through the third boss in Sanctum of Domination, the 9. Let's check it out. This entire encounter is fighting against Sylvanas' 9 Val Kyrs. 3 of these Val Kyrs you will actually fight on the platform, and the 6 other ones will do boss mechanics on the platform that you need to handle. The pull starts with fighting 2 Val Kyrs, Kyra and Signe. When one of them reaches 15% health, that's when the last boss comes out, Skyja, and she's actually the main boss that you'll fight for the rest of the encounter. And once she's dead, you won the fight. We're gonna take a look at all these boss abilities, Kyra and Signe and Skyja, and also the other 6 that will do stuff on the platform, and also how to handle the mechanics on them. Both Kyra and Signe have 3 abilities each. We start with Kyra. Kyra spawns an ad from time to time. This ad casts something called Soulful Vitality. It does moderate shadow damage to all players, and it also heals up the bosses. The tactics for this is to focus nuke the ad directly as soon as it spawns. If you can, bring the ad to the bosses for extra cleave damage on the bosses, and also interrupt the ad when it casts Soulful Vitality. Kyra will also do something on the main tank called Unending Strike. Now this is first a big physical damage hit and also leaves a debuff that makes the tank take 10% increased damage for 25 seconds. Also, a repeating strike will do moderate physical damage to all players as well. So tanks, you will tank swap at 3 stacks, and healers beware not only for the tanks that the raid will also take damage here. Wings of Rage. Both Kyra and Signe have an energy bar. When Kyra reaches 100 energy, she will pull all players to her. After a couple of seconds, if you're still inside that circle, you will take really high physical damage and also a 10-second stun. The tactics for this is just run away from the circle before the blast hits. Signe also has an energy bar, but when she reaches 100 energy, she will instead pull players away from her. If people are outside her in the circle after a couple of seconds, they will take really high damage and a 6-second fear. The tactics for this one, well, just run into the circle. The second thing Signe does is something called Song of Dissolution. She will start singing, and this does damage to every player every second for 5 seconds, and it even stacks. This can be interrupted and must be interrupted. The last boss ability that Signe does is called Soulful Blast. She will blast her target with moderate shadow damage. This can be interrupted, but I would say this is the lowest priority of interrupts. The 2 most important ones is the song that Signe does, and also the ad that Kyra spawns. When one of the 2 bosses, Kyra or Signe, hits 15% health, that's when the main fight starts. That's when Skyja comes into the fight and can be engaged. The best way to handle this is to make sure that both of the 2 bosses have approximately 15% at the same time, and when Skyja will spawn, you hit Bloodlust, Time Warp, or Heroism, and you burn the 2 other bosses down, and then you have only Skyja to worry about, except for all the other Val Kyrs that will be flying around, of course. On the main tank, Skyja will do something called Pierce Soul. This will do high physical damage to the main tank, and it will also leave a stacking debuff that reduces players' movement speed by 10%, and also healing received by 10% for 30 seconds. Tank swap every 30 seconds when the debuff expires. Skyja will also do damage on the entire raid, so healers beware. On heroic mode, she'll also link players' soul into each other. If you're linked with someone else, when they take damage, you will take damage as well. So it's spread and split to all players that are linked. So healers, beware there as well. The most important boss ability that Skyja will do is called Fragments of Destiny. She will mark 3 players with a debuff. If you dispel that debuff, it will jump to the closest player. And if one player will have all these debuffs, they will have a debuff called Shard of Destiny. This will create a pool under them, and if you stand on it, it will do frost damage every second and reduce your movement speed. The tactics for this is to have a marker placed on the edge. All the players with a debuff have to run over there. Healers, you will dispel them one by one, and when dispelled, you will run away. It will lead that there will only be one person left with all of these debuffs, creating this Shard of Destiny, creating the pool, and then that player will run away as well. The next time Fragments of Destiny debuff comes, then you run to the side of the first pool, and you wait until you get dispelled. When you get dispelled, you just run away like you did last time. It will lead to this one left. That person will create a pool, and that person runs away as well. Keep creating these pools on the side of the platform. Just move clockwise every time you're going to create a new debuff when you have this Fragment of Destiny. On the dungeon journal, it says that these will spawn when Skyja reach 100 energy. They did that, but we also saw that they spawned from time to time when she didn't have 100 energy as well. These Val Kyrs spawn one at a time, and they will do one ability each. Agatha will spawn several straight lines on the platform that will do damage some seconds after they spawn. Also, if you touch it, it will do a knockback. This is very similar to the Sired and Arthura's fight with the lines. Aradne spawns 4 locations on the platform. After a couple of seconds, she will strike those locations. If a player stands on it, they will take high shadow damage. However, if no player is standing on these markers, the entire raid will take damage instead. So the tactics for this, one player stands on each area. Daschla will target several players with a circle around them. After a couple of seconds, she will hit them with a big blow. Any other player inside that circle will take shadow damage. So the tactics for this, run away when you're marked with a purple circle. Annhylde will put a protection shield where the boss is on that location. This will make the boss take 90% reduced damage. The tactics for this is the tanks need to move the boss out of the shield. Arthura will put a debuff on a random player. After 8 seconds, she slams the ground and does overkill frost damage, but it's divided evenly between all players within 8 yards. The tactics for this, stack up on the player with a debuff to share the damage. The best is that the targeted player runs to melee, so it's easy to stack up. Brunja puts a debuff on a random player that takes taking damage, and if any other player is within 5 yards, they'll also take damage. So the tactics for this is just to stay spread. Now when we know about all Val Kyr abilities, we're gonna go back to Skyja again, because on heroic mode, whenever an Val Kyr does an ability, she will make so another Val Kyr does another ability directly after. So you will have different Val Kyr abilities overlapping during the fight, only when Skyja comes out to the platform to fight you. Pretty awesome fight, right? I hope that this guide will help you take down the boss in your guild, in your pug, whatever you're gonna do. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, guys, hit the follow, hit the what is it you hit?